So now that the weather is heating up a bit, you may have noticed that running season is taking off. This is like the perfect time. It's nothing better than an early morning run before it gets too hot out. And for those people who have always been curious about running or wanting to join a run club but feel a bit intimidated or have never ran a day in their lives, in today's video, I want to talk about how you can go from walking to running and training for your first 5K. If that sounds like something that you may be interested in, stay tuned. Hey babes, welcome or welcome back. If this is your first time seeing me, my name is Daisha and I create content that helps you take a more mindful approach to your wellness. So you may be one of those people who have been walking every day, you're feeling stronger, lighter, and more motivated. And now you're wondering, could I run a 5K? And the answer is yes, you absolutely can. And today I'm going to show you how. So what is the big craze about a 5K? So a 5K is about 3.1 miles. And it is a perfect goal if you're just getting started in this form of movement. It's short enough to feel doable, but long enough to build real endurance and confidence. And the best part is you don't need to be a runner to run a 5K. Honestly, you don't need to be a runner to run any distance. If you ran it, you're a runner, baby. When you're just starting out, you just need a plan, some patience, and a pair of shoes that feel good. That's the most important part, in my opinion. One of the safest and most effective ways to begin running is to alternate walking with short running intervals. This is exactly how I started years ago and how I restart when I've taken some time off for running for a while. This helps you build stamina without overwhelming your joints or your lungs. So for example, this is what a weekly progression could look like. So for week 1, you would walk for 4 minutes and then jog for 1 minute. And you would repeat this maybe 4 or 5 times. Week 2, you would walk for 3 minutes and jog for 2 minutes and repeat. Week 3, you would walk for 2 minutes, jog for 3 minutes. Week 4, walk for 1 minute, jog for 4 minutes. And then for week 5, you would try to break out your full mile run. Slow and steady. I didn't say go sprint it. Slow and steady. Take your time. This is all about training your mind, your endurance, your lungs, and your cardiovascular system. So don't rush it. Another technique to get started that I used to do is, I don't know about you guys, but when we were kids, sometimes we would race each other to the stoplight or to the stop sign or to the fire hydrant. So I started using that same technique for myself. I didn't necessarily race, but I would challenge myself to run and do not stop until I get to said landmark. So if I'm at the end of the block and all the way at the top of the block is a yellow fire hydrant, I would challenge myself to jog or run all the way until I get to that fire hydrant and not stop until I got there. This is something that I would do when I was recovering from my knee injury. And it helped me get back into the rhythm and it helped me take things slow and train my mind that I could achieve certain goals, even if it seemed like it was hard or impossible. So let's talk about what you will need to get started running. Like I mentioned before, a really good, comfortable shoe is very important. It's also nice if you have like a running vest or a running belt to kind of hold your phone or your belongings, because holding a lot of things in your hand while you're running can kind of weigh you down. Some of my favorite running shoes are Asics or Hoka's. The Hoka Clifton 9 are some of my favorites, honestly. I just recently got those before I had the Hoka Bondi, which is great for walking, but the Hoka Clifton 9 feels like I'm running on air and it really supports my feet and my joints when I take my runs. If necessary, you may need to go to a running store or a shoe store and get fitted for your particular running shoe. Sometimes they size you a little bit larger because your feet tends to swell when you run, and also wearing a nice good sock may be taken into consideration. I remember when I ran my first half marathon, which I believe is 13.1 miles, if I'm not mistaken. And I had no training, no experience. I pretty much just got out there just because somebody asked me to do it with them. And I realized I did not have the appropriate shoe. My feet and ankles were in so much pain at the end of that run. I actually ended up damaging my toenail. I bruised my toenail came off, and it took about a year for it to grow back. Yeah. So you can do a lot of damage to your feet and your joints if you don't have the proper shoe. So please take the time and invest in a good shoe and get it fitted properly. Like I mentioned before, a running vest or a running belt is really helpful. I've tried a few different running belts, but my favorite is by far the running vest. I can pretty much hold everything that I need in my running vest, including my keys, some pepper spray for safety, my sunglasses, a little extra gum, and there's a pocket for where I can hold my phone or extra gel packets for longer runs. And it's on my body, so I don't have anything restricting my hands, so I can use my arms to propel me and for support, and it keeps my hands free. Another thing that you really need to consider prior to going on runs or prior to jogging is your hydration. It's really important to hydrate before and after, and also include electrolytes because you're sweating a lot and you're letting off a lot of your electrolytes and fluids. So it's important to replenish those. If you've ever run before and you were unprepared and you ended up with cramps and becoming uncomfortable and just not being able to finish your runs, you may not have been properly hydrated before. Another important thing to consider is how you're fueling your body for your runs. A light snack with some carbs and some proteins about 30 to 60 minutes before you take your run can be really helpful and is really important. Think a banana with some peanut butter or apples with peanut butter, which is one of my favorites. Half of a bagel and some peanut butter. You're going to need something to burn to keep you going. If you're going on a longer run, there are those gel packets that help you get in a quick dose of glucose during your runs to kind of keep you going. And I feel like those usually come in handy when you're running more than 3 miles. If I'm running more than 3 miles, I find myself needing to take a gel packet around mile 2.5 to 3 to keep me going for the other portion of my distance. It's also super important to warm up, especially if you're a little bit older, like myself. You can't just go out there busting out on the pavement thinking you're about to run this marathon and you don't stretch. So warming up with dynamic stretches such as leg swings or butt kicks is a really great thing to do before you start, and walking it out and stretching at the end of your run to cool yourself down and to prevent tightness or stiffness. And you don't need a fancy fitness tracking watch or app, but it is very helpful. I'm not gonna lie. I'm definitely one of those people that if I don't have on my watch, the workout didn't happen, or I'm going back to get it before we start. For me, it's very motivating. So if that is something that you feel like would motivate you, go for it, get the watch, get the tracker, and hit the pavement. You can also consider running in a local parking lot. I love to run in a local business lot on Saturdays when all of the cars are not there and the offices are empty. It's a great place to go that's kind of tucked off where you can make laps and go around and be outdoors and also practice your distance. You can find a local school. Usually they have a track that you can run around, or you can find a trail in your neighborhood or at a local park, a nature park, where you can run the trail and have different types of scenery to kind of keep you going so you don't feel like you're going in loops. Or if you're a gym person, you can still run on a treadmill. All of these things are completely fine. However, if you do run on a treadmill, I suggest increasing your incline to about 2. That way it can mimic you being on pavement and you're not running flat. Let's talk about those mental hurdles when it comes to running, because there will be mental hurdles and some tips to help you combat them. So you will have days where you don't want to run. Especially if you're a woman, you have to kind of learn how to sync certain activities with your cycles, which we'll talk about in another video. But certain days, you're just not going to feel like it. Your body may not support it, and that is absolutely okay. If you find yourself feeling like that or just not necessarily feeling motivated, you can go back and repeat a week in your run plan. So if you've already made it past the week where you walked for 4 minutes and jogged for 1 minute, and now you're on a week where you're supposed to be walking for 1 minute and jogging for 4 minutes, just switch it. Go back to the beginning. Walk for 4 minutes, jog for 1 minute. Just getting your body back out there and staying consistent might even motivate you to get back on track where you are now and run a little bit further than you thought you were originally up for. Also, a really important tip is to focus on consistency and not speed. People are like, I gotta do this distance, I gotta run a 7-minute mile. That takes the fun out of running. Before you know it, you're going to be exhausted. You're going to feel defeated. Just go out there and run your race. Run what you can run. And you're going to get better and faster naturally. Just focus on the consistency. Create yourself a run playlist. As we all know, certain music can definitely get the blood flowing. It can motivate us, it can help us push, it can give us that extra oomph. So having that collection of songs when you're feeling like I can't do this anymore, when that song comes on, I can guarantee you're going to push yourself a little bit further. So using certain type of music, or if you like to run to podcasts or audiobooks, because some people, they function better that way. Utilize those things. Even running with a friend can bring and encourage a little bit of friendly competition, or it can help you keep up with somebody, and you can have that person as your motivation to cheer you on to go a little bit further and can finish that run with you. If your brain starts saying, we don't do this, we can't do this seems too far, I just want to stop, just know it's your brain, and your mind has nothing to do with what your legs are doing right now. Like it does, but it doesn't. Don't let your mind cheat you out of your goals. Just smile and say, we do and we will, and we're gonna do it now. So, when will you know you're ready to actually run this 5K? For most beginners, it takes about 6 to 8 weeks of consistent training to run their first 5K comfortably. Some do it faster and some may take a little bit longer. Again, run your race. The only thing that matters is that you actually start. Because how many people do you know that are just waking up on a random Saturday saying they ran a 5K? I'll wait. Not a lot. So do you, boo. Do your thing. So if you were one of those people that participated in Mala Day May and you got yourself off to a great start by being consistent in walking a mile, and now you want to try to do a little bit more and run, go for it. That's your foundation. And this is a great way to build to try to run your first 5K by the end of summer or in early fall. I know a lot of 5Ks pop up for the fall in like October, November, even some at the end of September. The weather starts to cool down a little bit, and it's a great way to try out your new running muscle. I recently ran my first 5K for the year, and I absolutely felt great. I did that on a Wednesday, and honey, by Friday, squeezing out just 2 miles felt like death. But I pushed myself because I know just 2 days earlier, I ran a little over 3 miles. So I knew that I could do it, and I knew it was just mental and muscle fatigue, but the actual skill and ability was there. So just remember to push yourself gently, try what you think is impossible, and stay consistent. You have to believe that your body is more capable than you think. So that's pretty much all I have for today about how to train for your first 5K. Remember to like this video and subscribe if you want to hear more content about maintaining your wellness and incorporating new skills and activities into your routines. And if you've ever run a 5K or attempted before, comment down below and let me know how it went. So that's it for now, but as always, you got this, babes. Bye.